In the meantime, I am so happy to welcome to the show the Executive Director of Plummer Youth Promise. It's based in Salem, Massachusetts, a nonprofit there. Nicole McLaughlin has joined us before, and I'm so happy to have her back. And you survived haunted happenings. I'm so happy for you.
We did. We did. Quite a time here.
Yes, I had to tell you, Nicole, you know this about me. I live on the North Shore, and for 6 weeks straight, I do not go through Salem because you just can't get through. So it's good to have that in our rearview mirror for now. But we are talking with you today about something really cool that's happening, of course, in this giving season, and that's your gift drive. But before we do, for those maybe who don't remember exactly what you do there at Plummer Youth Promise, share with us again the organization and what its goals are.
Sure. First of all, thanks again for having me. And yes, October is crazy. We're glad to have that past us. But since Plummer Youth Promise, we serve young people experiencing foster care. And, you know, our reason for being every day is to get kids out of the foster care system as quickly as we can to a safe, stable parenting relationship. And sometimes that means going to birth family, reuniting with birth family. Sometimes it means living with relatives. And sometimes it means a new family. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure kids don't grow up in the system, right, and bouncing from place to place.
Sure.
So that's our mission.
And these kids can range in age.
That's right. That's right. So we serve young people from birth all the way up to age 22, and we serve them in a variety of settings. So in Salem, we have our group care program, which is probably the one that people are most familiar with. But we also have young people who live with foster families, and we have young people out living in their own apartments, studio and one-bedroom apartments.
You know, I said this in the beginning, Nicole, but this is the season of giving, if you will. And I think this has to be, these holidays, a very difficult time for some of these kids.
I think that's right. You know, children and youth in foster care, no matter how hard we all try, they may have moved between different settings. They may have changed schools quite a few times. Even the older kids who are out in apartments, they know they don't have the same kind of resources and connections that their peers do. And they may not even have adults who know a lot about them. So they come into this holiday season feeling very differently than all of the other kids around them.
Yeah, yeah. You know, the holiday season, and most specifically, you know, Christmas time, for me is all about the kids. It really is. And it is amazing what a difference just, you know, an acknowledgement during that holiday season can mean for a young person. You guys have a holiday gift drive. Talk a little bit about that and how long it's been going on and how you go about it.
Sure. So, you know, you're right. We can't change the fact that kids are in foster care, but we can try to mitigate that feeling of otherness. And the holidays is the time, or is a particular time that you can do that. So at the holidays, we actually allow all of our young people. So at any given time, we're serving probably 80 young people a night, and we allow them to ask for anything they want, up to 7 items. And they know they may not get everything, right? But most kids and families, they make their list, right? And they make their list, they check it twice, and they ask for whatever they want, and they may get things and they may not. But we don't limit it. We want to make sure we know things like their favorite colors, or you know, their favorite food, or for young people living in apartments, you know, are they learning how to cook and they would really like a juicer, right? Something like that. Because every young person is unique, so every young person creates their own list. And then we ask people to sponsor, and people can sponsor a whole list, or they can shop for just one item, right? Because we want everyone to be able to participate, and not everyone can do a whole list. Or somebody might say, you know, I don't want to do a whole list, but this kid's asking for a laptop, and that's expensive. And it makes sense for this kid's age for them to ask for a laptop, so I'm going to buy that.
Yeah. Sure, absolutely. And I love that you make it pretty easy for people to get involved.
We do. We do.
Yeah,
So
explain that.
just go right to our website. Up on the navigation bar at the top, there's a piece that says get involved. And when you click on that, you'll see right away how you can get into the holiday gift drive. And again, you can pick a whole list, or you can pick an item from an Amazon gift list or a Walmart gift list. So you can really go on and do what feels good for you, knowing that this is actually the specific request of a unique child.
Sure. Nicole, talk to me a little bit about, we're a business show, and we talk a lot about the economy, obviously. Does the economy have an impact on the number of children you see? Because pressure at home can sometimes lead to other issues if there's economic problems, right?
Yes, yeah, that's an excellent question, Kim. And there's research that's come out a lot in the last few years out of an organization called Chase and Hall in Chicago that actually can tie the sort of the generosity of different public benefits or the lack of generosity or the lack of flexibility to the number of child maltreatment cases. And, it shows pretty clearly that when families are under economic stress, child maltreatment cases, reports of child maltreatment rise. And that makes sense. That makes total sense. So people often think of, each of these systems as disconnected from one another, but in fact, they're all connected.
Sure.
They're all connected. So recently, when it was unclear whether SNAP would be available, SNAP resources would be available, of course, families feel that. And, our young people out in apartments feel that. They're scared. They rely on SNAP benefits. So it is all connected.
Well, all the more reason for people to consider trying to help some of these children and make it this bright holiday season for them. So again, Nicole, I'm going to ask you one more time to let our listeners know, how can they go about getting involved in this wonderful program for these young people?
I think two ways to make it easy. One is to go to our website at www.plummeryouthpromise.org, and Plummer is spelled Plummer. And you'll see at the top Get Involved button. If you click on that, you'll see Holiday Gift Drive, and you'll see a number of options. The other thing you can do is just send an email directly to the person coordinating that program. Her name is Jessica Norton, and her email address is jnorton@plummeryouthpromise.org.
Right, Jessica Norton, J. Norton @plummeryouthpromise.org. Listen, a wonderful program, great ideas on that website for some of these kids, so be sure that you check it out. And Nicole, continued success. We hope that 2026 brings a lot of happiness for lots of these kids.
Thank you. Have a great holiday season.
Thanks, you too. Again, that is plummeryouthpromise.org. And Nicole explained it, but it's Plummer, Plummer, Youth Promise. You may want to get involved with a wonderful organization like that, so be sure that you check it out.